All right, how about that? Do we have sound now? Do we have sound now? Delvin Austin, that's Intelli. Yo, is there a sound now? Sound? I don't even know how to freaking type in this thing. It'd be great if I could type on it. Um, Let me just message you here, see if it's faster. Sound, sound, sound. Sound now? Alright, so let's alright, sorry I had no sound there, but my to start off, the Steelers were number 10, Ravens were number 9, and we got the Titans right now at number 8. Um Again, let's see Titans, forget his name. It's the Cali King or something like that. He's a pretty good guy in the league, active member, and as well as he passes the ball, he mixes it up with running the ball. Over 200 rushes with him, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns. So he definitely keeps his running back active. Let's see if he makes any passes to his halfback. Yeah, 55 passes. So his halfback is clearly active with 7 touchdowns receiving and what 14, so 21 total touchdowns. That's pretty good right there. His go-to receiver is his tight end. Tight end up the seams. Titans are deadly up the seams. Titans can definitely be deadly up the seams. I know he's beaten me up there several times. Mike Evans. Looks like his deep ball threat, though. All right, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Let's see here. All right, now let's check out his defense. Leading tackler, E.J. Patrick, a younger guy. Let's see what his sacks are like. Does he get a lot of sacks? All right, so he's got 11 sacks, 9.5 sacks. So those are his big dogs, Junior Gillette and Preston Smith. How about his interceptions here? 4, 4, 3. All right. So that wraps up with the Titans falling at number 8. Number 7 is going to have to be the AFC Super Bowl contender. Gonna have to go with the Bengals at number 7. Although he was in the NFC the AFC title game, I think this next year is gonna be completely different. I think another couple teams are gonna bump up ahead that he even beat to get to the Super Bowl. Let's see. With Linden coming back this year, I don't think it's going to be so easy for the Bengals to get into the even the AFC title game this year, because there's a couple other teams that are going to be impressive this year, as well as just Linden's Broncos. So you have to watch out for the Bengals. Bengals could be a threat. Let's check out what he has passing. Now the Bengals did have Ben Roethlisberger retire. So he's got Tyrod Taylor, and now he's got this guy, Rashad Bowers. So he doesn't even know who he's starting at. Let's go with the Bengals rushing. Bengals must also got rid of their running back. It's not too good when your quarterback is the leading rusher of your team. So I don't know what the hell the Bengals are doing with their running back. Receiving, all right, looks like Chris Morris, Semo, who I traded him actually from the Colts, was his leading receiver. He's got 96 speed, 85 overall. Definitely a number 1 receiver on many teams. 6,500 yards right there, or 1,600 yards. Javier Walters. I don't even know who that guy is, but he's number 80. Okay, so he's number 80. I've seen him out there. Number 89 or 900 yards. Who's that? Walker Grayson. Tyler Eifert. Year in, year out, he's solid. Receiving touchdowns. Semo, 13. Walters, 10. Let's see what he does on defense. I know the Bengals from one time I played him. He definitely likes to blitz a lot. So let's see what kind of sacks he has. 9, 9, 4, 3. All right. Okay. That's not bad. Almost a couple guys there in double digits. Interceptions. 7, 6, 6. So you can see he plays good defense, gets a lot of interceptions here, along with his sack. So he's definitely turning the ball over a lot on defense, forcing. So at number 7 is the Bengals. Number 6, gonna have to go with myself, the Colts. Gonna have to put myself up there. Mettenberger, year after year, is solid. I think he was 5th or 6th with his quarterback rating in the league. 4,800 yards, 37 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, which are his least. Excuse me, those are Zach Mettenberger's least touchdowns in his career with me throwing with him. Sacked 31 times. Running the ball, the Colts do run the ball often. 261 carries with Nigel McClendon, only for 1,100 yards. Only gained 4.5 yards per carry, but did have 21 touchdowns and came up big in the red zone. Receiving wise, the Colts have a bunch of good guys out there. Let's see, Deron Travis, Colts leading receiver right there with 81 receptions, 1,700 yards. I think 1,700 yards was second in the NFL in receiving yards, and only 12 touchdowns. The Colts lost A.J. Green, a big loss to their offense, and Elijah Gordon is going to have to play as the starter, as the number 1 receiver this year. And looks like John Douglas will be moved up to or Justin Blackman, who the Colts just signed, will be moved up to the number 2 spot. What, bud? All right. Defensive wise, out. Out. The Colts definitely bring the heat with 12.5 sacks to their cornerback, Van Dyke. 10.5 at Morgan Lewis, who they actually franchise tagged and would not let him go to free agency, but he did want over 6 years, $110 million. And Jeremiah Atachu with 8 sacks as the outside linebacker. Let's see who the Colts have for interceptions here. 6, 5, 5, 5. Shark Thomas, gotta call him Shark Thomas, leads the other team in interceptions. Pinkins had a down year. Usually get a bunch of interceptions with him, but I was just trying a bunch of things out, and I think I figured it out now. So, at the number 6 spot, it is the Colts. And the number 5 spot, gonna have to go with the Giants, the almighty Giants. Year in, year out, this Giants guy, the legend killer, is nasty. He's a tough opponent. Always plays hard, and always expect a good game against him. Let's see who his quarterback is. Andrew Luck, who he signed for a record-setting max contract back in the day. And he had 119 passer rating, which is phenomenal. 5,400 yards, 54 touchdowns, which is just killer. That's a lot. 20 interceptions, not bad at all. That's actually a 5-to-2 ratio right there, which is ridiculously good. All right, let's see if he runs the ball. He definitely runs the ball. 246 rushes, 1,100 yards, 16 touchdowns. So the Giants are definitely good at passing the ball and definitely run the ball a lot. Hold on a minute. Alright, sorry about that. So here we are with the Giants. Odell Beckham Jr. killing it year in, year out. I think the legend killer really likes Odell Beckham Jr. I'm not sure if he's a Giants fan or not. His tight end gets a lot of receptions, and then Casey Mason right there, right behind Jamie Moses. And so he definitely passes the ball a lot. Almost 3 guys hitting 1,000 yards, which is pretty key and huge. Spreads the ball out. Hard to stop his offense. 19 touchdowns, 13 and 10. All right. Wouldn't expect anything less than that. Defense, 101 tackles. Wow. Landon Collins, 100 tackles is impressive just for a computer to do that. Or maybe he uses them. If he uses them, that's even more incredible. Giants, let's see here. Who's this guy? Josh Reyna, middle linebacker, 80 tackles. 9 sacks. Doesn't blitz the ball. It doesn't blitz the offense too much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 guys in his team got sacks. So it's pretty much Pierre Paul or nothing, and he's done that just over half the games. Interceptions, I expect high interceptions. Only two guys intercepted the ball. That is ridiculous. How is that even possible? We must have either had guys retired or or some type of glitch here. All right, so that concludes number 5 team, the Giants. Number 4 team, we're going to go back up to the AFC with this one. And it's going to be my boy, the Dolphins, right here, the franchise. The franchise is a great player. Took over a decent team and, has made them AFC contenders. It was his year this year to go to the AFC Championship, where the Dolphins lost to the Bengals, who lost to that son of a bitch, the Mexican team. Anyways, this doesn't look right. Only 930 yards. You know what? I think the Dolphins quarterback did retire. I think it was Tannehill, or he just got rid of him because he probably sucked. But he still killed it with them. So anyways, I saw in free agency they were going for that Heyman guy, who's like a 90-something overall. Much better than any quarterback that's ever been on the Dolphins, besides Dan Marino. Dre Archer, he definitely stuck to the run with two running backs over 100 yards, or over 100 attempts, which is crazy. So that would be like 325 attempts right there, which is just insane. 12 touchdowns, 4.5 average, both of them. So this guy just pretty much did the same thing Dre Archer did. See what his receiving looks like. All right, definitely got the ball out. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys over 20 receptions. Okay. Will Tye, whoever the hell he is, stepped up. Stacolian Blake, 56 receptions, 1,300 yards. So he was his deep ball guy. And Bryce Butler's still out there banging. The Colts had got rid of him to the Colts or to the Chiefs for a top draft pick. Touchdown was 3 guys over 10 touchdowns, which is pretty good. Let's see what his D7 84. Wow, these guys were tackling. Sacks here. 10-7. So all right, so he's making some noise here with his blitzes. I mean, 10-7, 4-4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that are capable of getting you every game, pretty much. Then Roseman, whoever he is, sounds like a young guy. Yep. All right. So that wraps up the Dolphins at number 4. Number 3, gonna have to go with the Bears. I thought the Bears were impressive. I think he's really stepped up his game. And I played him, and I just completely shit the bed against him. I lost 31-10. And I think he's the full package. I think he's good on offense. I think he's good on defense. I think he can run, pass. I think he can do everything pretty nice. 31-17. Not the greatest stats, actually. A little worse than I thought they would be. Or a little lesser than I thought they would be. 3,800 yards. 102, again, that's probably in there between like 12th and 17th for passer rating. It's not hard to get your quarterback passer rating over 100. 31 touchdowns. Long was only 83. 68%. That's probably something I should be looking at. 68%. That's a high percentage, actually. Melvin Gordon. I ran the ball a lot with Melvin Gordon. Over 220 attempts, 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. Also ran it with this guy, whoever he is, 12 touchdowns. And Tannehill had 10 touchdowns. So Tannehill, oh yeah, that's right. Tannehill is on the Bears. Can't believe he's actually doing that with Tannehill, winning that many games. Receiving, let's see who's got Willie Snead, whoever he is. Kevin White still in the league, 6 years. Robert Woods, just over 1,100 yards with Kevin White. Touchdowns, let's see what he got. Spreads the ball out with his touchdowns. 8-7-5, 3-2-2-2. Yeah, spreads the ball out. Likes hitting Joanna Arnold or Kevin White. Let's check out his defense. His defense, I felt, was pretty good. 103 tackles, 93 tackles, 83 tackles. So that's pretty impressive. Rolando McClain, Kiko Alonso, okay. EJ Gaines, tackle for loss. Now, you guys that just came here, we're on, right now I'm on number 3, the Bears. But number 10 was the Steelers, number 9 was the Ravens, number 8 was the Titans, 7 was the Bengals, 6 was the Colts, 5 Giants, 4 Dolphins, and 3 Bears for my prediction of the top 10 teams from WarrooM in 2021. So right now I'm just going over the Bears. The Bears definitely get out there and blitz. They got 2 guys over 10. Artis Evans, who came from my Colts, I gave him away. Probably never should have let go of this guy. I just felt it was good right at the time. So 12.5, 11, 8.5. Geno Atkins with 8, huh? 8.5. C.O. Moore, the son of a bitch. He has C.O. Moore. 5 with Malik Jackson and 5 with another left end. So he definitely brings the heat. Plays good defense there. His front line is probably going to sack you 2 or 3 times a game. Interceptions 5, 5, 4. All right, so that wraps it up for number 3 with the Bears. Number 2, gonna have to say my boy, the realist, with the Panthers at number 2. Year in, year out, he is the top team or the second team overall with record-wise in the NFC. Been to the Super Bowl several times, I believe 3 times, but just has not won the big game. Played tough opponents each time. And I think all 3 times he might have played Linden, the Broncos. I'm not sure. Actually, let's go to Mariota, who was on the block, or Mariota, who was on the block. 115 passer rating, which is pretty high. 4,300 yards, which is pretty good. 41 touchdowns, which is really good. 14 interceptions is really good. That's pretty much just under a 3-to-1 ratio for touchdown to interceptions. 96 yards, 43 times sacked, and 66% completion, which is pretty damn good. Rushing, I know Panthers had a hard time rushing the ball last year. Not enough money in the bank for any good running backs, but Davion Jean, who came from the Colts, I didn't really like the guy. I thought he was too slow, but he seemed to handle the ball pretty well at Carolina with 193, 965, 15 touchdowns. I mean, a 5 average is pretty decent. What did Mariota do? 74 for 333, 4 touchdowns. All right. Receiving wise, I feel every year the Panthers have a good receiving core and have a lot of fast guys out of the backfield. Also with Deion Lewis is at 31 receptions, 256, no touchdowns though. No one over 1,000 yards for the Panthers. I think Deshaun Black is about 96, 97 speed. I would definitely be going to him more. Absolutely would, but I would expect him to have more than 47 receptions and only 929 yards. And he does lead the team in 11 touchdowns. Let's head out to his defense, see what he's got here. Wow, 120 tackles. That is freaking insane. But Trey Waynes was not on the Panthers last year. I don't know what team he was on, but you picked him up in free agency. Asa Jackson, not even sure who he is. 105 tackles. Trey Boston, 101 tackles. So, I mean, these guys right here are forced to reckon with the tackling up the middle. Rashad Tull, 13 tackles for loss is pretty huge. It's almost 1 a game where he's just knocking someone back behind the line of scrimmage. 14 sacks for Aaron Lynch. I mean, that's up there with the best of them. I don't know if that's number 1, 2, or 3, but that 14 sacks is a good amount. 6.5, 5, 5, 4. So the Panthers are definitely bringing the heat too. Now the Panthers, if you ever play the Panthers defense, he likes to come out and say cover 2-man, and then he'll instantly switch it up to, cover 2 or to cover 3 baseline, bring his guys up and down. So it's very hard to tell what kind of coverage the Panthers are in when you're playing him, because he switches it up so well and so swiftly. Interceptions 6, 5, 4, 3. And that concludes number 2 team. And my number one team that I'm predicting this year is gonna have to go back to the Broncos. Now that Lyndon's back in full swing of things, I believe the AFC is his, and it's up to us, the rest of the guys, to stop him. And Brock Osweiler had a down season. It's because Lyndon probably played half the games, if that. 97 passer rating, which is just terrible. 4,200 yards, which is unlikely Lyndon. Lyndon's usually up by 5,000, 6,000 passing yards every season. 50 touchdowns, so 37 is low. 23 interceptions is. Lyndon will definitely throw some interceptions, but these are definitely not his numbers, as half the league was just simmed. Calvin Davis, he has been running the ball a little bit more at Calvin Davis. I noticed that he's running the ball a little more. He does a lot of strong tosses. And he will also take off with Osweiler if the field is open and everyone's taken. Rather than just playmaking, he just likes to run out there. 11 rushing touchdowns. Let's see what his passing looks like. Jimmy Massey, I think, was picked up from the Cowboys, and Massey has killed it with the Cowboys with Sloth Monkey, and seems to be getting the job done with Lyndon as well. AC Leonard, I don't even really know who these guys are. Carlos Parker, I know he still has Benny Fowler, and you can see he only had 12 receptions last year, and his defense always, yeah, you can see it was a lot of Sims there. 730 tackles, but Xavier Gooden has been the best linebacker, with Lyndon using him all 7 seasons in WarrooM by far. His interceptions are usually up between about 15 and 20 every season. Gets a couple sacks a season. See, tackles 137, yeah, so he just kills it. Tackles for loss 7, sacks 7.5. Lyndon plays a lot more coverage than he does blitz, but he will bring the heat from now and then. So that wraps up my 2021 predictions for the top 10 teams in WarrooM. Again, they were Steelers, number 10. Number 9 was the Ravens. Number 8 was the Titans. Number 7 was the Bengals. Number 6 was the Colts. Number 5, the Giants. Number 4, Dolphins. Number 3, the Bears. Number 2, the Panthers. And number 1, the Broncos. So, till then in WarrooM, the draft is tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. I'll see you guys then.